Sowmya Iyer, the founder and CEO of DViO Digital, answers all of that and much more. Sonia, if you come and join us onto the stage, please.
Hey. So I have the uphill task to demystify Metaverse in 15 minutes. I'm going to try to do that. So for starters, I think since Metaverse is widely spoken about, I'm going to ask you to forget everything you've read or learned about Metaverse. It simply comes down to just one shift that we are looking forward to, which is the internet as we experience it today is 2D internet. The text, the videos, the pictures. If you look at internet, it's sort of a collection of websites that you experience in 2D. Metaverse is nothing but a shift to experiencing the internet in 3D. Simplistically put, that's what Metaverse is about. Now, what's the big vision for Metaverse out there? It's immersive. If you guys have seen Ready Player One, it gives you a glimpse into what the vision of Metaverse is going to look like. Multiplayer, VR headsets, very immersive, high-quality experiences. That's what Metaverse is going to look like in the future, potentially. But are we there yet? The answer is no. Why? Because the infrastructure, as well as the talent that is required to build content out, is a little far away, right? You need more headsets. You need headsets and devices that feel like second nature. So it's going to take us a little while to get there. So what am I going to do in this masterclass is, we've been at DViO evangelizing AR and VR and 3D content for the last 7 years, working closely with Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, to figure out how do you create meaningful experiences using 3D content, using VR, using AR for our clients. And we've seen it through its stages. We know the challenges. So what I'm going to do is put Metaverse in perspective, sort of bring more awareness to what our current location is, and very specifically point brands and businesses towards where you can start if you intend to take the Metaverse journey. So for the consumer, Metaverse is about experiencing 3D content, immersive 3D content. That's it. Just be with that. Experiencing immersive 3D content is what it's going to mean to the consumer. I do truly believe that for Metaverse to grow faster, to really reach its full potential, it needs to be powered by decentralized infrastructure. Yeah, so more on that off stage, but decentralized infrastructure also powers crypto and NFT. I want to make a point here, which is, because it's decentralized infrastructure that powers Metaverse, crypto, NFTs, so on and so forth, they are not linked, okay? So Metaverse can exist and operate independent of crypto and NFT. It's just the way it's powered, which is decentralized infrastructure. And then, of course, from an application standpoint, it's 3D internet, right? So pretty much everything that you experience on the internet today, whether it's social media, gaming, media and entertainment, learning, all of this can potentially be experienced in Metaverse. The big tech companies are heavily invested in Metaverse. The technology, the hardware, the graphic cards, all of that is still in the works. Some advancements that we've made is, you have Meta and Apple, which are launching sophisticated headsets. Also, the important question to answer is, if it's 3D content that's going to power Metaverse, how quickly are we going to be able to create this 3D content? The scale becomes very, very important. So again, technologically speaking, we are going towards this. You guys would have seen, this video making the rounds where, You can pretty much scan your environment and create 3D content. So we will be able to create 3D content at scale. Microsoft is also piloting with 3D collaboration on Teams. And some brands have done their early take on Metaverse right now. So my favorite example is that of IKEA. The reason I call it my favorite example is because, this is not done just for a PR value. This points you towards potentially how you can create value for a shopper when he is on your website. You have 3D objects popping up in your environment. It's to scale. You can actually place it in your environment to check how it works. So essentially, this kind of experimentation with Metaverse is pointing in the right direction on how you can improve user experience while they're experiencing 3D content in Metaverse. This was Walmart's early visualization. This is a few years ago, though, of what shopping is going to look like in Metaverse. Yeah, the reason I bring this up, is because I personally feel this is exactly how you shouldn't use Metaverse. Yeah, because all it does is just replicates the experience of shopping in a physical environment in an online environment. But you've got to be able to go beyond that, really imagine different environments. So I, again, refer to Metaverse as enhanced reality. Let your imagination run wild, right, with the kind of experiences you can bring alive in Metaverse. So imagine, instead of sort of going and just picking up a can of milk, the user walks to a dairy farm, maybe, right? Or walks into fresh vegetable farm to pick up vegetables. Now, that's the kind of stuff that you are able to do in Metaverse, and that's what we should aim for. So where should we really look for inspiration then? As brands and businesses are figuring out what their next step should be, where should you look for information? Clearly, gaming, as we know it today, is the most mature form of Metaverse. Yeah, so look for inspiration in gaming destinations, right? Like Fortnite, like Roblox. And that is why we've got Nike launch Nike Land in Roblox. They have the captive younger audience over there. They launched this whole experience, and I think it works very, very well. Even for Star Wars, for example, they launched their trailer on Fortnite. Now, this is sort of how brands and businesses will start to make sense of Metaverse and include themselves in the journey as more and more such opportunities present themselves for distribution. So gaming is clearly a distribution channel. Eventually, you'll have media and entertainment that will become a distribution channel. You have publications, right? So social media, which would also start coming into the 3D domain, and brands and businesses will start taking advantage of that. Well, clearly, we know that we have huge potential over here. McKinsey says it's going to be an impact of 2.6 trillion. But what's important for us to know is what are our use cases today, right? So let's start with what we can do today. This is, in fact, we spoke about Phygital in the previous panel. This is something that we've done for a brand called as Chappers. This is on the web and in-store customization and 3D visualization, where the user gets to choose the leather, the shoe type, the buckle, the color, and place an order. So it's in a physical environment as well as online. And if he's at the store, he looks at a few models and customizes content for himself. Again, if you're building out 3D models within opportunities that are available today, which is whether your website or your social media channels, your other digital assets, 3D content is thumb-stopping for sure. It cuts through the clutter. Yeah? So if you start building out 3D content, it'll cut through the clutter and also potentially lead to commerce. And this is sort of work done for some of our clients who are actually in the audience today. Again, pop-ups in your existing environment, using social media channels. This is something that we did for Aster, where the goal was to tell people that our delivery agent is always next to you whenever you order for medicines, and it sort of seamlessly integrates with that on Instagram. Meta sites, I'm sort of a big fan of this because it's your single most important destination, right? The website for your brand or business is your single most important destination. So this is possible today, and therefore I think we should all consider looking at creating immersive 3D and two-way sort of interactive environments for customers. So in this case, it's Redmi. The user sort of gets to navigate. It's almost like entering your headquarters and getting a feel of what your brand feels and looks like. Yeah. So when we speak about events, again, you would have read about the fashion show on Decentraland, and some other events that have already, some weddings and stuff like that have happened on Metaverse. Because infrastructurally we're not ready yet, graphic cards are not sporting the delightful experience that you like to have when you're in Metaverse. I feel this is some time away. Right? We need the infrastructure to be right to be able to have a very, very good experience on events, but it's a huge, huge opportunity once we get the infrastructure right. So now, again, just summarizing where we can start today, as simple as I make it sound, invest in 3D content. If you have a product, build 3D content. If you have, and this 3D content is reusable, by the way, okay? So the reason I say this is components of your product, and 3D content can be reused in order to build 3D content at scale. If you're an FMCG company, obviously there's sort of less value in just creating 3D of your packaging, but invest in creating environments, that speak about your brand. You can create really interesting, immersive environments, right? Like I was, just go back and think about gaming. Like I said, that's perhaps where you should look for inspiration. You can create whatever environment you want. Like I said, you can pretty much go and shop from a farm for your fresh vegetables. Now, that's the kind of experience that people want to have, right? So if you're an FMCG company, you're a hypermarket, invest in creating environments and see how it works. The thing is, if you start to invest in creating environments and creating 3D, you'll learn fast. I think you'll be able to create a sharper vision for what you want to do in Metaverse. Even though decentralized infrastructure development is a little bit far away, consumer-facing 3D immersive content can be done today. Yeah, so I hope this was helpful, folks. Thank you so much. I think I finished right in time. Thank you. Thanks a lot.